we are going to go through and make a list of things that you can do for a great experience at a ballpark. I figured, like we said, today's Friday. We had the very first spring training game today, and I don't know about you, Brick, but I lost my mind. I saw on Instagram, I saw that first pitch. I was like, oh, I can't wait. Can't wait. I'm gonna be down in Arizona in about a week and a half for spring training, and then not long after that, the season starts. It's gonna be fantastic.
Oh,
Fan-freaking-tastic. Can't wait.
Me neither.
So,
Yes.
like I said, we thought we'd give you some tips as to things that you can do to have a great experience at really any ballpark you go to. Doesn't matter if it's Major League, Minor League, whatever.
Now here's the thing. I want to say something before we dive into our actual event or bullet list.
Mm-hmm.
Brad and I, we love to do lists. Okay,
Yeah,
we love them.
do. It's true.
They're so much fun. But you should know, kind of a behind the scenes thing. We do not share our lists with each other prior to.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what happens, I was telling Tiffany about this, what happens is we end up with overlap on at least one bullet every time. So we're batting 1,000 right now, and I feel
True.
like every time we do, we creep a little closer to the cliff's edge.
And I was just thinking, I'm a little worried that since you led in with that, I'm worried that today might be the day.
That's I was building my list, and I was like, I don't know if he's going to think of these same things. I don't know if are these things important to Brad? I don't know. So, baseball family, we are going to go on a discovery period at the same time here. This is going to be a journey.
Absolutely.
With
Absolutely.
Pretty excited about this.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Now, I put mine in order of operation. I don't know if you put yours in that same order, but mine was kind of like the checklist of things to go through when you're going to a ball game. Is that kind of how you did yours, or was it like the best things down to the?
That's exactly what I did. I was like, okay, first things first.
Oh boy, and there it is.
There's the. We could count that. That seems fair.
I would think so. I would think we could count that. Oh man, that's too funny. Because that's the thing about this. I just said 5 things you can do when you go to a baseball game. Ready, make your list, go. That was the end of the discussion. That was all we talked about.
That's
We didn't
right.
talk about how to make it. Nothing.
Nothing.
So that is too funny.
How do
Too
you
funny.
maximize your experience? You know you're going to a ball game. How do you get the most out of it? Well, this is
That's
what I
right.
would do.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. What is the first thing you would do to maximize your ballpark experience, Brig?
Make sure that I put forth a little bit of extra effort and get my seats in the shade. Now,
Oh, there you go.
this is going to come into, you might have to call the ballpark. Like I've done this 100 times. It's because we did that cross-country road trip, so we were calling ballparks all the time. Okay, when's the game start? Okay, which way is the stadium facing? Is it when as the sun goes down? Like at this time of day, where is the shade? Because I had a kid and I got a wife that doesn't want to sit in the sun. You know what I mean? So number one, take a little bit of extra effort, and if you can, you should get seats in the shade.
Okay, let me give you a little hack for that. Are you ready?
Oh yeah.
And with a little bit of trivia to come with it.
Oh my.
So a ballpark, home out to the outfield,
Yeah.
will not face west
No, of course.
because of the sunset, right?
Right. Yes, of course.
That's the way they always build them. So you
Yes.
can kind of get a little bit of an idea there as far as that's gauging. Now, do you know what comes with that little design idiosyncrasy with ballparks?
No. Good word.
The nickname Southpaw. Did you know this?
No. Send it,
So,
bro.
the Southpaw nickname comes from lefties because they're facing south
What?
because of the orientation of the ballpark.
Every time?
That's right. Yeah, every time. I've thought about all the ballparks I've been to, and they're always facing out east. The sun is not in the batter's eye.
Boom!
Crazy. Isn't that crazy?
My brain just exploded, bro.
Nuts. And of course, it doesn't always happen with Little League fields, as we've noticed
Sure.
over time. But big league parks and minor league parks, every one I've ever been to, you hit out to the east. So
Okay.
there you go.
Maybe I don't need to be calling ballparks anymore. I could just use my big old fat brain and figure it out, I guess.
Look at the big brain on Brig.
That's pretty
All right.
good, man. That's like, talk about maximizing your experience. Now you just made my life better.
Good. I'm glad.
That's high quality.
So are you ready for my first one? It's actually along the same lines.
Okay, yeah.
I put pick your spot. Okay. So it doesn't necessarily, like, if you're into the shade, yeah, like, absolutely,
Yeah.
and maybe call the ballpark and ask what time, see if they know what time the sun goes down, because I have two places that I love to sit.
Yeah.
One is I love sitting behind home plate. I mean, who doesn't love sitting behind home plate?
And you're a
Right.
catcher, so yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. The other spot I like to sit is in the outfield,
Yeah.
because you get such a panoramic view of the entire field. You can see everything that's going on really easily, and it's a perspective that I didn't get growing up when I was playing.
Of course. Yeah.
So I love to sit in the outfield. But I have to tell this real quick. So my wife and I were in California. This would have been probably about 10 years ago now. And we went, the Mariners were in town. She's an Angels fan. So we went to Angels Stadium, and they were playing the Mariners, and she's like, get tickets wherever, I don't care. I was like, okay. And I didn't know about the whole east-west thing, whatever. So I didn't think about where the sun was going to be shining before the game started.
Yeah.
So we're sitting in right field and getting beat down
Oh.
by the sun.
Right.
And she was, the whole time, you are not picking the seats ever again. We are never sitting in this spot. I am miserable. It is so hot. I'm like, yes, it is miserable and hot for now. But the sun's going to go down over behind the grandstand, and we'll be just fine by the time first pitch comes around, which was the case. But man, before that,
See?
I got a chastising.
I'm telling you, if it's just you or your buddies or whatever, like, you got to know your group. But yeah, if you got a kid, especially if you have a kid with you, you got to be in the shade. Yep.
Yeah, pick a shady spot for sure.
Pick your spot, Brad. We might be able to count
Pick
that as an overlap.
I would think so.
Dude. Okay, I can't wait to see where this goes. My number 2.
All right,
you ready?
Number 2. Go ahead.
Bring petty cash.
Oh, that's smart.
You got to
That's
have
a great
some cash because parking almost always is cash only, right? Unless you want to want to hoof it, however far.
Yeah.
And and if you're fancy or if you have a toddler, you just go to valet. You just go to the valet.
Smart.
Yeah. So we went to Coors Field in Denver, and we'd never been there before. And I knew to bring cash, and we had an 8-month-old with us. And I was like, we're taking an 8-month-old to a friggin' baseball game. Like, first of all, we're crazy. Second of all, we're huge baseball fans. Third of all, I'm not walking with the kid. Right?
Yeah, no, not a chance.
So we did, dude. We paid $30 for valet parking. We pulled right up to the gate. We prepaid for our tickets. We pulled right up to the gate, and they took the car and moved it for us. And I was like, thanks. I'll see you later.
That's awesome.
Anyway, so
That's great.
bring petty cash because you're going to need it for stuff you don't think you might need it for. So parking is a great example. I've all of the kids stuff is likely going to be manned by a teenager with a fanny pack. So if we're talking bounce houses and any Carney games or anything like that, a zip line at SunTrust Park, they have a zip line.
That's cool.
A water park, like 9 times out of 10, if there's a pool, like that kind of stuff is going to be manned by a 17-year-old, especially at minor league parks, and they just have a fanny pack. So you need cash for that kind of stuff. So number 2 for me, have some petty cash.
That's a great one. And I always like to have some cash just in case. You never know if somebody's card reader isn't going to be working or something.
Totally.
Like the chip on my card is finicky, so I like to have cash when I'm going somewhere like that because you don't want to get there and be like, well, now I can't have water on a 100-degree day because my card's not working.
Right. Yeah, no, seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely always carry cash. That's a great idea. That's a good one.
What's yours?
Get there for batting practice.
Yes.
Batting practice for anybody who's ever sat through it's like there's not a whole lot to it, because it's just guys hitting. But if you really sit there and watch, you don't get to just see guys hitting, but you get to see the player interaction. And if you go down to because you can pretty much just wander wherever you want during BP.
Yeah, totally.
So if you kind of go down to the field level, like especially in the outfield, players will come over and interact with you. If you have kids, they'll come over and talk to your kids especially.
Yep.
It's a great chance to get a ball, maybe an autograph, let the kids get an autograph or a picture or something. But but the batting practice experience, it's so laid back because guys are just trying to relax before the game. That it's a ton of fun. It is a whole lot of fun to be there for batting practice. So if you can, get there for batting practice because you'll get to see kind of a behind the scenes of how the players are, their personalities, and some of that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
So I love batting practice. I always have, and I think I always will. It's great.
That's awesome. Well, and especially with the new trend with the city sort of like meetup spot, like the Battery in Marietta and Wrigleyville and stuff like that. You can go in and out of the stadium.
Yeah.
So you go watch BP for a minute. You let the kid get an autograph or whatever, a ball, and then you go eat lunch. Yeah. And then you go back in.
Yeah, there's at T-Mobile they have Edgar's Canteen out in left field. So you can go hang out there, and you can go down, watch some batting practice. You can watch batting practice from the cantina.
That's perfect.
So
no, that's great.
It's cool. It's a lot of fun.
That's awesome. That's solid.
All right, number 3, Brig.
Number 3, clear see-through bags. You could listen.
I didn't think about that. That's smart.
There is nothing.
That is really
smart.
There is
nothing worse than your wife or girlfriend or you, because you got a kid in a diaper bag or whatever. You're gonna take your bag to the ballpark, and at the gate they're gonna turn you away because it's not 4x6. Mm-hmm. And even a 4x6, they're going to want to search. So listen to me now. If I impart zero extra wisdom, you got to buy a clear plastic bag. And I wish I could find a decent printer because I would have them on the shop right now. But I can't find somebody I trust to do it the right way. So I don't know who all these other companies, because the team stores have them. So if you just go into the team store, then you can get one. But I'll tell you what, I have done this twice. I have been turned away at the gate for really, really stupid, hyper-vigilant security guards. And I appreciate that. I've been in security before. I understand why they're doing the way they're doing and what they're being told. But there's nothing worse than having to go back all the way to your car to put whatever it is back, and now you are left without diapers and wipes or your wife's wallet or whatever because she didn't have pockets or whatever. Get a clear plastic bag. You can take a gallon-sized freezer bag. It's the same thing. Okay, you don't have to buy one fancy. We have one. It says Greenville Drive on it. It's awesome.
Nice. I didn't think about that. I did see the other day there is a club. I can't remember if it's the Padres. I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head, but they were strictly clear bags this season.
Yep, it's new.
I think that's I was gonna say I think if ballparks aren't doing it yet, give it a year or two. Everybody will. Everybody will. It's
so true.
So
we didn't know. So we went on that big road trip and we saw all these baseball games, and we started to see just during that 2017 season, the further east we got, the more common it became, to the point where we were like, "Whoa!" Like during the course of one season, it was like we have to have this. Anyway, that's my number 3.
Yeah, great one. My number 3: get to the ballpark. Get your food right away.
Number 1, yes.
Okay. First thing you do when you get through the door, get your food. Because there are several reasons for this. One, the lines are not as long before the game starts. There'll be some places that are going to have a little bit of a line, but generally speaking, the lines are not nearly as long when you first get there as they are after maybe the first or second inning.
Oh, okay. Totally. Yeah.
That being said, part of your ballpark experience is eating. Am I right?
Absolutely.
So, like we said this on our ballpark food episode, get there, get your hot dog, get some fries and a drink, whatever whatever goes with your hot dog, and then wait a couple innings, go get your second course. Wait a couple innings, go get your dessert. I love, like I said, at T-Mobile. I haven't been there since they changed it to T-Mobile. I hope they still have them at Safeco. I used to always get chocolate covered strawberries, and I even got one time a deep fried Rice Krispie treat.
What?
Holy moly!
Did you just?
And that was like a 7th inning treat. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be it. But
wow,
holy smokes, it was fantastic.
See, and that's the way. You're absolutely right. First inning, third-ish inning, middle of the 6th, maybe beginning of the 6th.
Yeah,
that's exactly the interval you need.
That's right. It gives you just enough time to settle and wait for the next
That's
one
right.
to
No,
come in.
you're absolutely
So,
right.
yeah. Yeah. So get your food right away.
Let's take a
Let's
quick
take a
break.
quick break.
Yeah.
And when we
Yeah.
get back,
You.
we'll go 4 and 5.
All right, baseball family, welcome back. Brad and I are going to continue with this list building that we've been doing. We have number 4 and number 5 from both of our lists on how to maximize your experience at the ballpark. So, Brad, I really want to know what your number 4 is.
Okay. Now, I'm going to give this one with a little bit of a disclaimer.
Okay, I love caveats. Yes, I love it.
I don't know for sure if every ballpark does this. I'm pretty sure they do. I think it's a major league wide thing. But when we took Wilson to Safeco Field for the first time, we got him a first game certificate. Right?
Ooh.
So you go to like customer service, and there was a little bit of a line. We were in and out of there probably 5 minutes or so, but they put his name on it and said this is his first Mariners game, and it was a lot of fun. You know, like he was, like I said, he was a little over 1 at the time. He didn't understand at the time, but I know he's such a big baseball fan and he loves going to baseball games that someday he's going to look at that and he's going to think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
In fact, I bet if I showed it to him tomorrow, he would love it. He'd think it was really cool because he loves stuff like that. So, I mean, even if you're an adult and you want some kind of keepsake for the game, go get yourself a first game certificate for a ballpark. So,
And is it free?
it's free. Yeah, gratis. Absolutely free.
Gratis.
Don't at me.
Well,
I know it's gratis.
You can't beat gratis, bro.
Gratis is the best. So,
Yes.
yeah.
That's
Totally
good.
gratis. So, you don't have to pay for it. So, go ahead and
That's
do it.
awesome.
All right, Brig, number 4.
Number 4, every ballpark has its own little identity. It has its own feel. It's got its own personality. You could argue that it has its own culture, that it almost exudes on its own.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you're into the architecture or the flow of traffic, which I think is interesting because I've been to a billion ballparks and a billion different games. But every ballpark is set up differently, and it's all, to take something so similar and do it 100,000 different ways is really special.
Yeah.
So my number 4 is that about the third or so inning, somewhere between third and fourth inning, get up and go walk around. Explore the concourse, explore the upper deck, see what food vendors change, see what amenities are available, where's the kid stuff, if there's a dog park, like you said, if, go see, is there a pool? What's the train operator doing? At Chase Field, you can walk over to the organist. You can sit there. You can stand there right behind the organist, and he's there with his organ, and it is fabulous. I have video of that, so maybe we can put it over here. But yeah, like experience a ballpark itself has its own personality. So I think somewhere between the third or fourth inning and no later than about the sixth inning, middle of the sixth-ish, when you're getting your food anyway, that second round of food, go explore. Go walk around. Go get a feel for it. That's number 4.
Can I piggyback on that real quick?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we it's always smart to prepare ahead, right? No matter what you're doing. But I mean, you can always hop on YouTube to see what there is available.
Yeah, of course.
The ballparks on their web, or the teams on their website, are going to have a bunch of information about their park. So if you want to ahead of time, you can take a look at what's available and make a plan. Like we're going to get up at the third inning, we're going to go walk around, and this is what we're going to go see.
Yes.
Or when we get there for batting practice, we're going to go take a lap and we're going to go see these things. So
Totally.
yeah, like you said, every single ballpark has a ton of stuff to see because the park itself is as much about the fan experience away from the game as it is toward the game.
Totally.
Days. Like
Totally.
I think in Miami they used to have a bobblehead museum.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, super cool. I think the new ownership group got rid of it, but the fact that they had a bobblehead museum was so cool. Super cool to me.
Well, like at
So,
Yankee Stadium, they have Monument Park, and I mean it's a cathedral anyway. But then you go
Yeah.
to SunTrust. They have all 755 bats from Hank Aaron's home run.
Oh, that's cool.
It is stacked in the number 755.
That's amazing.
No, dude. So you're right. Every ballpark has its own thing. It celebrates its own culture. It celebrates its own history and heritage. And there's so much to do and see, and you don't have to be in the platinum super cool kid club.
Yeah.
Like to it's just there. So I love, and some minor league ballparks have famous major leaguers that came through the system there, like in Oklahoma City, for example, or in Chattanooga, Tennessee. They have banners of the famous players, or they'll have the names etched into the brickwork on the side of the building. And it's like, that's the kind of stuff that makes baseball super special. So that's my
absolutely.
number 4.
And they have Mike Trout all over. I don't know what it's called now, at the ballpark in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
In fact,
Smith's
little
Ballpark is what it used to be called.
Yeah, that's what it used to be called. The Wi-Fi password, it says name and number that he used there. So if you can find out the number, then you can get on the Wi-Fi there.
Whoa,
that's you guys. What? I probably shouldn't have shared that, but whatever.
That's some deep trivia there, bro. Love it. What's your number 4, Brad?
So, this is number 5. This is my last one.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did 4.
I mean, we talk. The name of the podcast is Baseball Together. So what better way to go to a ballpark is with your friends or family, right? Make sure you go with a group, because yes, you can have a bunch of fun by yourself, because then there's no time constraints, there's no activity constraints. You can do whatever you want, go wherever you want, spend however long you want doing it.
Yes.
But as is most things in life, a baseball game, the ballpark, everything about the experience is best shared with somebody. Like it's so much fun to just go. Like, I went to a Salt Lake Bees game with my cousin. We hadn't ever been to a baseball game together, but we both grew up playing. And so we sat there. We had killer seats behind home plate. We were just sitting there just talking about the game, talking about what we saw, talking about whatever, But it was a super cool experience that we got to share together, just the two of us. Just the two of us at this ball game. So whether it's, like I said, like your family, we talk a lot about going to games with our wives and kids. If you're going with the boys, it's a great guys' night out. Totally great guys' night out.
So on that topic, we do meetups here locally. And Tiffany and I will take Olivia and we'll go do meetups with members of the 9+ Us VIP group.
Nice.
At local or nearby, or, within our limit is 5 hours. If we can get to your ballpark in 5 hours, we should plan a meetup. And we did it in Greenville, we've done it in Columbia, we did it in Augusta, we did it in Charlotte, we did it in Salt Lake when I was there. And you're right, dude. That is a killer bullet point. That I don't even know how I could follow that up, because that's like,
thanks,
we
man.
should end there.
So can I do real quick? Speaking of meetups, I've been thinking about this. I'm going to be in spring training in a couple weeks, March 3rd through like the 7th or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't have the games in front of me. I'm going to be going to 2 games that week. I don't have them in front of me. I'll have them for next week's episode for sure. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're at those games, like I said, I'll let you know what they are next week before I leave. If you're at those games, come find me. I'll buy you a hot dog. Because that's kind of thing you do, right, Brig? You buy the.
That's
the
what
guys
I
a hot
do.
dog. Yeah. So if you happen to be in Arizona, happen to be at the same game, whatever, come find me. I mean, I know it's a long shot with every game going on in that city that day, but I'll let you know. Come find me. I'll buy you a hot dog.
That's awesome, man.
So,
and at least in Arizona, in the Cactus League, they're relatively close. Like, it's not like in the Florida Grapefruit League where it takes 3 hours to get from start to finish.
Yeah, everything's within like 45 minutes to an hour now.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
An hour with traffic is all. It's not like they have those games down in Tucson anymore. So
yeah, no, dude, that's awesome. That's so cool. I hope those that are watching and listening actually meet up with you, because that is exactly what it should
be. Awesome.
Yeah,
that'd be way cool.
So I'm
Super
going to
cool.
second that. I might fly to Arizona just to, I don't know. I'm kind of busy.
Sweet.
But they wouldn't let me in the ballpark, but there's the whole thing about getting a ticket. I don't know. Okay, so my number 5 is wherever you are, because I like to go to different ballparks. I love different ballparks. I hope I made that clear last time. But wherever you find yourself, sample the local funky food thing, whatever it is.
Yes.
Right? Just try it. Just try it. Right? If you're in Chicago, there are 2 kinds of wildly different kinds of hot dogs, depending on which side of Chicago you're on, at which kind of ballpark. When you're at Chase Field, I mean, they are all about margaritas at Chase Field, and they're all about this weird, super cool churro hot dog thing with
the churro dog.
with the buffalo chips on it, the strips. Try that crap. Like, you got to have that experience. You don't know if you'll ever be in Phoenix again, right?
Yeah.
I have had weird food and weird hot dog variations all across the country, and it is like, I will never forget those experiences. You've got to do it. If you're into beer and there's a local brewery that does a beer that's like, so here in Greenville, the 13 Stripes Brewery, which I toured their brewery the other day, and I had the opportunity to help brew. I was a participant in the brewing process, I guess. We helped grind up the malt and things like that. But
nice. That's cool.
Yeah, it was for a fallen soldier memorial. For Memorial Day, they're going to do a couple of different beers, specifically tribute to Gold Star families and their fallen heroes. So it was really cool. I work for a veteran service organization. We got to be a part of it. But the point is, that brewery, 13 Stripes, local brewery, they sponsor a beer specifically for the Greenville Drive last season.
That's cool.
That's what they did.
Super cool.
So if you're into beer, that kind of thing is what I think is. It just, I don't know. Culture and food are interchangeable, and you can't have one without the other. So that's my number 5. Funky foods at the funky ballparks.
And if you go to Seattle, get the chocolate covered strawberries, because they're fantastic.
Right.
Second, you gotta do the fried grasshoppers.
See,
you gotta do it.
See, that's funky, man. That's what I'm talking about.
It is funky, but if you don't knock it till you try it, I'll be honest with you.
Totally.
But you gotta try it. You gotta try it when you're there.
And the garlic fries that you rave about.
Oh,
I gotta have
garlic
that.
Fries.
Yes.
Oh. Yes, you do.
See.
Yes, you do.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So I think that, talk about maximizing your experience, right? It's the only place to get that thing. It's the only way to have that experience, and I can't go without it.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to. You have to do it. In Arizona at spring training, I noticed they had. If you've never heard of a Sonoran dog, it's basically like a green chili hot dog.
Yep.
They have them all over the Cactus League.
Yes.
At pretty much every ballpark. You got to try it. They're fantastic. You got to eat them while you're there. So.
Bingo. Okay, now I have a question for you.
Okay.
Before we wrap this up, do you have any honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions. I didn't have an honorable mention.
That's okay.
But I would think that I would have to say something like, if you're bringing kids, just be prepared,
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
We brought 2 kids to the Cactus League last year, and they were both under the age of 5. And
you're brave souls.
Brave, yeah, very brave. But be prepared with anything you need. Like some ballparks are pretty lax with snacks for little kids.
Yeah.
Like you can bring in like fruit snacks, whatever. If they'll let you do that, go ahead and bring them in. Be prepared to get up and walk around. Like we said, that it's not like it's not enjoyable to go walk around a ballpark. Some ballparks are more readily available for that than others.
Sure.
Like I actually want to do a little segment later after I go to Arizona, talking about kind of experience at ballparks. But I'll tell you right now, the Peoria Sports Complex is very family friendly. It's very easy to get up and walk around with a kid because the concourses are nice and wide.
Yeah.
you're not cramped. Whereas Scottsdale Stadium is more of a party and things are a little bit more cramped.
That makes sense.
So
It's good to know.
So kind of be aware of the stadium where you're going and kind of prepare yourself with your kids what you're going to need to do during the game.
Yeah, that's good.
What about you? Honorable mention.
Yeah. So I asked my wife. I said, she helped me build this list. We do baseball together. So I said, Tiff, what else would you say? And she said, you know what? Stay for the dang fireworks.
Yeah.
Like if there's gonna there's this mass exodus thing that happens at the end of the game, and not always. If people know there are fireworks,
Right.
then they'll typically stay. But you get those people who are so eager to beat traffic and they just got to get out of there, or their kid. If your kid is throwing a fit and just can't hang, get out. I'm not trying to tell you how to parent. You parent however you want. If your kid's bedtime, we were at a hockey game tonight, and she was up way too late, but she fell asleep in the car, and it was fine.
Yeah.
But the point is, if you can swing it, chill out, man, and stay for the fireworks, because there's nothing better than ending a baseball game in America in the summertime with a fireworks show.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
So the traffic is just not that bad. Just stay for the fireworks.
That's a great one. I love that. That's fan-freaking-tastic.
Thanks, man. That was Tiff's suggestion.
Always. Thanks, Tiff. That's a great
Yeah.
one. Stay for the fireworks.
Stay.
If your kids can hang. If they can't hang,
Yeah.
then you got to do
You
what
got to
gotta
make
do.
your parenting decisions however you make them.
Yeah.
That's not my choice.
What's best for you, your life.
That's right.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.